Hello and welcome to this week's Money Roundup. Luke can't be with us this week. I know many in the audience will miss him, but in his place we have the brilliant Jodie McGrath-Hayes. Jodie is one of our investment analysts. She is usually busy working with the investment team, so we're very pleased to have her here today.
Thanks, Claudia. This week we're going to be talking about consumer confidence, Italian politics and EU budget plans. It is evident from the surveys that consumers in the US, Europe and China are growing in confidence. Global economic growth has staged a strong recovery since the 2008 financial crisis, and this is feeding positively into consumer expectations.
UK consumers have been dealing with a squeeze in real disposable incomes, with inflation growing faster than average earnings. However, the negative trend in real disposable income after taking inflation into consideration has started to recede.
Experience tells us that when wealth effects improve, consumer confidence follows suit. Of course, there are other variables influencing household incomes, such as rising oil and petrol prices, that act like a tax on consumers. 2 weeks ago, we provided an update on the Italian elections. At that time, the two populist parties, the League and the Five Star Movement, were forming a coalition.
Matteo Salvini and Luigi Di Maio, leaders of the League and the Five Star Movement, nominated their candidate to be Finance Minister. However, their choice received a big thumbs down from Sergio Mattarella, the Italian president. The person nominated is Paolo Savona, an 81-year-old Eurosceptic economist. Savona is a man who has made his feelings clear on the euro, stating in 2015 that Rome should create a plan B to exit the eurozone.
The ability of the Italian president to exercise veto powers is invested through the post-war constitution, but his decision to use those powers is proving highly controversial. He has reasoned that Mr. Savona's policy objectives pose a threat to the savings of Italian citizens. As we go to air, a new deal has emerged. The coalition is now able to form a government, but with a new finance minister, Giovanni Tria, an economist professor who has not advocated leaving the EU.
The European Commission had a busy month in May, deciding how to distribute its budget of €330 billion in commitments for 2021 through to 2027. This is handled through its so-called cohesion policy.
The goal of the cohesion policy is quite a mouthful. Drive up economic and social convergence while helping regions harness fully globalisation and equipping them with the right tools for robust and lasting growth. We cannot begin to imagine what goes on behind the scenes, but imagine a high degree of horse trading. Any decision to redistribute the budget is bound to meet with great resistance and create division.
Recent reports and proposals point to some politically inspired shifts in the way the budget is to be distributed. Support for Central and Eastern Europe member states remains high, but the Commission has decided to recommend shifting over €30 billion from them in favour of the EU's southern states, Greece, Spain and Italy. According to the EC, the southern states are still lagging behind in terms of growth or income.
While Central and Eastern European countries are still getting more from the budget in terms of euros per capita, opposition from Poland, Hungary and the Czech Republic, who will be seeing less money flowing to them, is hardening. At the same time though, demands from countries like Spain, Italy and Greece for greater assistance are growing louder.
With any redistribution, there are always winners and losers. In this case, it is difficult to avoid concluding that those getting more will want even more and those receiving less will feel extremely aggrieved. Sticking plasters do not work when applied to gaping wounds.
That just about wraps it up for this week.
Thank you for watching. If you want to find out more, there'll be further details to these stories on our blog tpinvestor.com. See you next week.